I'm curious, what would your answer be if someone asks you to grade yourself in terms of your looks or your general appeal to people of the opposite sex? Is average one of the possible answers that you might give? Well, the internet went crazy a few months ago due to a controversial comment which was made by popular YouTuber Kevin Samuels during one of his shows. During the show, Kevin Samuels, who is an image consultant, offers his opinions of a female caller. He quite bluntly expressed his opinion that the caller, in spite of her own self-perceptions, was in his opinion average at best. The wild and insane reactions to Kevin Samuels' comments were due to a lot of people considering the average at best remarks as being misogynistic and degrading. However, I believe that this raises to the fore a few pertinent questions which needs to be answered. 1. Is the term average a pejorative? 2. Is it something to be viewed as a negative attribute in the modern world? And additionally, does an inflated view of self kill your chances of building a lasting relationship? In today's world, marriages and romantic relationships in general seem to be going down the toilet. More people today are abandoning the bliss of holy matrimony as well as the quest to find a life partner at an alarming rate. This has not always been the case though. In the past, relationships seem to flourish. Couples build lasting unions that weather the storms which form within and outside their homes. What has gone so wrong over the last few decades, which has led to so many people losing faith in love? Well, for one, people are overwhelmed by the options that they have. Cultural phenomena such as globalization and the birth of the internet has given rise to people becoming more aware of the many options which they have. The ease with which people can connect in the modern world has led to love and relationships becoming synonymous with fast food commodities. Today's men and women are constantly flooded with images and profiles of potential partners. The high availability of partners has caused both sexes to become more adventurous in their pursuit of a partner. In the past, people were far more limited in terms of travel and communication, hence their circles were smaller. Choosing a partner was more so based on how well they complemented each other socially and financially. Today, these factors are still key. However, people are also driven by a desire to experience as many flavors as possible. One consequence of this high availability of options, though, has been an unwillingness of people to commit to a particular option too early. This seems to be contributing to the relationship fatigue that a lot of people are plagued with. Constantly moving from one option to another brings its fair share of emotional trauma as well as disappointments. By the time a person is ready to settle down or actually does settle down, the immense fatigue and emotional baggage they carry makes it so much easier for them to give up on love. Singleness then becomes the option which wins out in the end. The second reason for the decline in lasting marriages and romantic relationships is unrealistic expectations. You see, Facebook, Instagram, and other social media outlets have become the primary vehicles of promotion in today's world. These, coupled with the messages that people are fed through popular culture, have created the idea of love and the ideal partner. In the past, men would be happy with a fairly attractive woman who could supplement his earnings while caring for the family that they built. That is no longer the case. Today's average male is on this foolish and oftentimes financially devastating quest to find the perfect Instagram model. He has very little time for the so-called ordinary looking plain Jane. The modern woman is not immune from this either, as most spend the best years of their lives chasing after some big shot high roller who they convince themselves will elevate them to the ranks of Beyonce or Rihanna. The average guy doesn't represent a suitable option for them. So both groups are guilty of looking for love in a very narrow-minded way as they try miserably to indulge the fantasies which are created by popular culture. These unrealistic expectations are rooted in the false notion that average is a negative term. Let's be very clear about something. Being average should not be confused with being mediocre. As a society, we have a tendency to classify people and things. This is no different when people are choosing a partner. Two of the criteria people tend to emphasize are physical attractiveness and income. The reality of the world in which we live is that most people are average in terms of their looks or their bank account. The fact that so many men and women today reject prospective partners because they perceive them as average and unworthy is undeniably one of the factors causing so many to abandon love. It has to be extremely frustrating for people searching for love when their expectations of what they can attract is not properly aligned to reality. So, to answer the question that was posed in the beginning, no, being labeled average is not a pejorative, neither is it a negative attribute. But enough of my thoughts. Let me hear what are your views and why so many people are struggling to find a lasting relationship in the modern world. Please post your responses in the comment section so that we can contemplate them.